Happy Friday, everyone. I am really looking forward to next week because for the first time, I am teaching a webinar on how to price your services. I'm super excited about it. Why? Because, well, first of all, let me say that I've been in business for a long time. I've had a business, before Repurpose Your Purpose. So I have been thinking about and researching and talking to clients about pricing for a very long time. And I'm excited to bring this webinar because I think pricing is one of the main things that trips people up when they first get into business. Okay, so today I want to talk a little bit about why that is and give you maybe one or two thoughts, that you can use already or ponder already to help you find a sustainable way to price your own service-based business. All right. So why is pricing such a big deal? Okay, so I think it gets so confusing for some people or anxiety provoking because it operates across many dimensions. Okay, one of that is practical, meaning that your pricing has to cover your expenses, cover your time, and also bring you profit. Okay, and a lot of us have trouble really keeping in mind the real amount of time that something takes or to value our skills. In other words, we might have trouble with practical math. Okay, and so that's one element of pricing. The other element is the confusion that might come from we have so many options, right? So if you start doing some research on how to price your business, first of all, you will find that people price their services, from very little to a lot, like some incredible amount that to you might not even seem possible. They have different structures. Should you discount? Give discounts, not give discounts. Have a high fee. Have a fee that changes. What if you want some of your business to be about helping people who don't have the means? Should you have sliding scale? Should you upsell? There's so many. Should you have an anchor price? Should you have packages? I mean, there's so many different ways to work with pricing that can get very, very confusing. And let's not forget that, any one approach, you will always find somebody online that says it's the best and one that says it's the worst possible thing you can do. So there's no real consensus most of the time, okay, on pricing, even within the same industry, same services offered. All right, then the third dimension of pricing is the emotional dimension. And that is probably the one that also trips people up a lot. I was going to say the most, but not necessarily. So it really depends on you. So, what do I mean by emotional? Well, until you're in business for yourself, and this includes freelancing, I don't think you really quite understand how much you carry unconsciously about money and worth. Okay, so here are some of the things that I've seen very often happen when we are confronted with having to price our services and ask people to pay us. Okay, one is there's infinite varieties. Okay, so I'm just gonna share some that I think are very common. One is I'm not worthy. Okay, so some sort of feeling that you're not good enough, that you're not worthy of making money that will truly support you in a sustainable way, or even maybe in a rich way, right? Where you make way more than you even need. So sometimes we don't even know how much of that we have until it's time to price our services and ask for the money. Something else that's fairly common is some conditioning or belief, unconscious really, that it's okay for us to give, but we cannot receive. Or if we receive anything, we need to give more. So essentially, we need to run at a deficit, okay? Otherwise, it doesn't feel good, it doesn't feel right. The other thing that I think is very also taught to people, and in my opinion is a mistake, is that how much money you make and how much you're paid for your services is an indication of your worth, okay? Not just as a professional, but even as a human being. Okay, so if you're really worthy, you have to ask for a certain amount. Okay, so some people have it as like theoretically they say yes, all human beings are worth the same, and money doesn't mean you're good or bad and all that as a theory, but then in practice when it comes to pricing their services, they really feel that and this again can be quite unconscious, but they really feel like that the amount of money they ask for is a reflection of their worth as human beings. Okay, so all of this stuff, you don't even have to clear it all up, in my opinion. In other words, like you might always have some of these thoughts. You might always have some, I don't know, this uncomfortable feeling here and there when it comes to money or pricing. But I think that you can start seeing that you don't have to believe everything you think. Okay, there's ways to simplify your approach, to keep it very down to earth, and to go by results and trial and error and small steps. So that's really what I focus on. This is what I'm gonna share on Wednesday. Obviously, in 1 hour, I cannot cover every possible thing, but my intention for Wednesday is to give you enough that you start to feel things are manageable. You can approach pricing and business with simplicity and effectiveness. Okay, so if there's one thing I want to leave you with today is to notice three things. Number one, notice if you have thoughts that link money with worth, like human being worth, personal worth. Okay, just really notice, and then really ask yourself if that's what you believe. Okay, when you're not caught up in those thoughts, is that really what you believe? The second thing is to notice how much thinking you have about pricing, how much emotional turmoil you have about pricing when you think about it. Is there a lot that comes up for you apart from the math, right? And number three, I want to ask you to take a look at the financial sustainability of your business before Wednesday. Take a look. You don't have to figure anything out, but just sort of look at it. Where you're at right now, is it sustainable? Do you feel good about your pricing? And try to come to look at it just in a calm, quiet way, but also notice which dimensions of pricing that I mentioned get triggered in your thinking. The emotional dimension, the practical math dimension, or the confusion. There's so many different options. I don't know what to do, which one to pick dimension. All right, that's it. Enjoy your weekend, and I will see you on Wednesday.